morning. It's a Wednesday. We're May 6th. Chill out just a moment. Just take a little bit of a breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take the pulse down just a little bit. We'll talk about all the rest of the stuff in the world, but being on red line the entire time, being outraged over everything doesn't do anybody any good. So we have a little bit of fun here in Richmond's Morning News. Knowing what your favorite cereal is, I got about 50 people texting in, so we could talk about that this morning because there's a lot to get to. There's a lot that we've been talking about all morning long. A couple of the big things that we've been getting into is, and I think this is very interesting. This kind of took on a life of itself. The presidential physical fitness test that is coming back to schools. You think about Make America Healthy Again and what Kennedy's doing. You look at some of the other things that we're seeing, and I think we can all agree. And I've asked this question about 1 million times, and I'll ask it again. Are you tougher than your grandfather? Super Dave, are you tougher than your grandfather?
Not even close.
Not even close. There's no way I am tougher than my grandfather. My grandfather was little, skinny little guy, right? Both my grandparents, my grandfathers were small. There is no way that I am tougher than my grandparents. Am I tougher than my dad? Heck no. My dad was a beast. My dad was like 6'4". He was a beast. He worked one of his first jobs in law enforcement. He worked as a correctional officer at a prison. And this is before they knew how to extract people out of the cells. Like when you watch Cops, you watch any of those reality TV shows, they got to pull somebody out of a cell. You know, they send in like 20 guys, and they all have riot shields and helmets and everything, and they go pull somebody out of the cell when they have to extract them. My dad was first working in law enforcement. He started as a correctional officer. They'd put a football helmet on him, and they would tie with a rope a mattress around his chest, and they would send him in there one-on-one by himself to pull somebody out of the cell. He was like 6'4". He's a huge hulking man. That's why he was my superhero, and miss him to this day. But if you ask me, am I tougher than my father? Heck no. My dad had 3 ruptured discs in his neck that were inoperable, and he lived that way for 40 years in constant pain every single day. Lived with that constant pain. There's no way I'm tougher than my dad. So we were talking about the presidential physical fitness test. Dave and I remember it when we were kids. And if you're a great athlete, that was great. If you're the kid who was bigger and stronger than everybody else, oh, you got that certificate. It was awesome. For the rest of us, not so much, because we weren't able to run that mile. We weren't able to do this. We weren't able to do that. And it was kind of embarrassing. And you'd get your feelings hurt if you didn't pass. So more than a decade ago, during the Barack Obama administration, they got rid of it. They said, we're not going to do it anymore because it causes too much anxiety for kids. Kids, too much pressure on them, too much anxiety over them. And you really think about where we've gone over the last 26 years and to where we are now. Wow. We have kids that are more anxiety-ridden, nervous, incapable of dealing with any type of disruption or any kind of duress. And now you look at where we are. We got kids wearing pajamas. We've lowered the standards instead of asking them to raise their standards. That was the whole thing about the presidential physical fitness test. If I didn't do well enough, I was going to get tested next semester, so I better work harder to raise my level up to where it needs to be. But now we've got rid of all the standards. We've lowered them, and look what we've gotten. Kids that are completely anxiety-ridden and unable to deal with overcoming things. So if you want to comment on that, 833-804-1140. Okay, real quick, I do want to point something out. Coming up, there is a hot air balloon festival. So my son went to, in all the schools he's gone to, he went to the University of New Mexico for a bit on an ROTC scholarship. And they have this beautiful hot air balloon festival that brings in people and tons of money, tons of tourists coming in to see these beautiful hot air balloons. It's really rather amazing what they do in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have one that's coming up here in Central Virginia, and Jeremy's joining us right now. I want to make sure I get his last name correct. Kowaterski joining us to talk about the hot air balloon festival that we're going to have here in Central Virginia. He's our guest here on News Radio WRVA. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so I've been to the Albuquerque Hot Air Balloon Festival. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a great big party, lots of fun. It's actually beautiful to see. Can we replicate something to that magnitude here one day in Central Virginia?
Well, I wish. To keep in mind, you got thousands of miles of desert in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
To fly these balloons in, that is a challenge.
But this is Central Virginia. We're better than Albuquerque. What can we do?
There's no argument for me on that part of it. But that being said, balloons take a lot of room up. We're going to have between 8 and 10 hot air balloons here. Albuquerque, you might see 1,000. I mean, it's just a massive difference. 8 or 10 will take up about 15 acres of green space.
Really?
So we need nice grass. Right, correct.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Balloons, how much room that would take? It's just insane how big Albuquerque is.
Well, we're going to have a great.
Spend a week there and never see everything. So
we're going to have a great one.
100%. Nice thing about what we do is we bring it to you, right? You don't have to fly to Albuquerque, pay overpriced costs for a hotel, and then possibly hope to fly, maybe, if you can get a slot and the weather cooperates. What we do is we bring the balloons, we're bringing them to Doswell, we bring them to you, and then we specialize in, it's not an all day where you're sweating in the sun and, you don't see any balloons until the evening, and that's normally when a good time to fly is later in the evening towards sunset. What I've done over the last 16 years is to just kind of combine the best features of a hot air balloon festival where you're not waiting around all day hoping to see a balloon. We pop these things up as close to 5 p.m. when the gates open as you possibly can, and we're going to leave them up. So they're basically it's an experience. You could go up, you could talk to the balloon pilot, you could pull a burner, you could get in a balloon. We have, there'll be 6 tethered balloons out here giving thousands of rides over the weekend. And that's a big difference than what you would normally see at a hot air balloon festival where you'll be lucky if they do 100 rides all weekend long, simply because you only put a couple people in each basket.
Right.
You can imagine that, that's very difficult to give.
So
if
how
you come
high?
out there with your whole family, your chance of getting a ride in a balloon at a normal festival are very rare.
How high will they go up? I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you. Hold on. Jared, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you. How high will these tethered balloons go up?
Yeah, sure. So it's a tether experience. So obviously we're going to fly away because we're trying to get the balloon back to you so you can come back to the ground. They go up about 75 or 100 feet, depending on top end winds. So if the winds are a little high up top, we might be at 75 feet. If they're fine, then you're going to be about 100 feet off the ground.
Okay, so give me the details if people want to go get an opportunity to go up in a hot air balloon. I will be honest with you. I am afraid of heights. I will watch them all day long. I will not get close to that basket.
Well, here's the great thing about it. Even at a tether balloon ride, I've done hundreds of them. And the experience is absolutely fantastic. You're in a real hot air balloon. You're really taking up off the ground, and you're really landing, and you really go up there, and you're just hovering. You're taking pictures. You're part of that experience, and it's only $35. If you want to take a real balloon flight, that could be $350, $400, depending. It could be much more expensive than that, obviously. So this is a great way to check that bucket list, get a ride in a real hot air balloon. But, it's safe. To your point, once you come out there and you look and you see that it's all tethered down and you got some anchor points and you're like, this looks safe. I feel comfortable. So many people come up to me and tell me the same thing. I'm scared of heights. I don't think I'm going to do this. And then I'll see them a little bit later and they'll say, you know what? I went up. It was fantastic. I'm so glad I did. So I think you might change your perspective, and I hope to see you out there.
All right. Give me details if people want to come out, what time and all the rest.
Yeah, sure. So the gates open at 5. We'll have, live music, DJ playing most of the day. In the evening, we have tons of food vendors out there. We have a kids zone for the kids. We got some craft and retail vendors. Some things to do, right? In general, come out there with a mindset to just pop down your blankets and your lawn chairs. You can bring your little chairs, your beach chairs, whatever you want with you, and relax, enjoy, check out the balloons, enjoy the atmosphere. It's a relaxed atmosphere. And then at 9 o'clock, we do the balloon glow and laser show. And meanwhile, we're tethering the balloon rides this entire time. So keep that in mind. You're seeing the balloons of people going up and they're doing their rides. And at 9 o'clock, we'll continue to do the rides, but we'll have the balloon glow and laser show. And that is just a fantastic. If you've never seen a balloon glow, it's like tons of, light up Christmas ornaments, if you will, right? And you got lasers going on, you got music. It's such an incredible show. That's about an hour, and the festival lasts till about 11. So after the show's over, the festival continues on, especially if you want to get a ride. If you want to do that during the laser show, you can do that. If you want to do it before that, you can do that. And then after that, if you want to then, when it calms down a little bit, you want to get a ride, you still can. So from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. is the festival hours, and what we've determined to be the most premium time to come out and enjoy some hot air ballooning.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for joining us. Comes up this weekend in Doswell. Appreciate it. Don't know if you're going to see me up in a hot air balloon, but I might come by and enjoy the food trucks. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. Take care. We'll continue. It's News Radio WRVA. Today's program brought to you in part by Luster by Adolph. All right. Mother's Day is coming up. And for you, got a little bit of a treat. It's also Luster by Adolph's anniversary. So through May 9th, everything in the store is up to